one between the Miami Dolphins and the Orlando Orbits. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Orlando Orbits. Hello again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Orlando team as they enter play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown! A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And some concerns caused him to slip to the 5th round. I guess if you're him, the good news is you kind of flew under the radar. Maybe expectations are low. You can come in and prove something.
And a lot to prove because those off-field concerns that creep in on you, you want to prove that they're all wrong, that they don't matter, that you are a much better player than what people picked you.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
They'll set up to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single. Safety, so you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Down right around the 25. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I can be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week. But the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality. and pound the rock.
And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
So with a 4th and goal looming, we'll step aside. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's Orlando in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Forced out to his left. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive.